The Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Lost in Hollywood frontman Amon Garrasi to the podcast. Lost in Hollywood will release their self-titled A Rising Empire debut LP this Friday, March 20th. Amon talks about the rising popularity of the German metal scene, becoming a vocalist, the reason behind choosing to self-title their album, being open to blending genres into their metalcore sound, and more. The Lost in Hollywood record is a really fascinating take on metalcore. I know there are a lot of bands right now blending genres and adding elements of pop and R&B and trap, but I really like what Lost in Hollywood has created on this record, and so I recommend you guys check it out on Friday when it drops. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of As the Story Grows. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome. You can find links in our show notes or at asthestorygrows.com for our mailing list, our Discord server, and our Patreon page, where $1 a month gets you early access to every episode. And if you like what you hear, I would love it if you subscribe to the podcast on your podcast platform of choice. Enjoy today's conversation with Amon from Lost in Hollywood. Did you grow up in Hamburg?
Yes, I did like half an hour out of the city, and then when I turned 20 or 19, I moved in the city. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that for school or just because you wanted to live in the city?
Yeah, I think both. Like, I wanted to study here, so and so many friends lived here, so it was like the ideal place.
Yeah, it's very much a young adult thing to like leave the small town to live in the big city and just like enjoy it, right? Like,
right.
Right. You're only 21. So.
You're right.
I don't know.
I think it's a good city for that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What was growing up like?
Okay, yeah, it was okay, I guess. There were some issues. I moved to my grandma when I was 15 because like there was a lot of bad stuff going on at home, but I think that was the right thing to do. And I have a lot of friends still from that time, so I'm super blessed and happy to like be here and have this life now.
Nice. What gets you into music, and I guess at what point do you discover heavy music, and like was heavy music like a good gateway for like forgetting about bad stuff happening?
Yes, sure. Like I think I listened to a lot of like music when I was like 13 or 14 years old. Like I think I discovered the band Muse. And they really inspired me to like play the piano, and I taught myself a lot of things, a lot of songs by Muse. And then I think with like 15, 16, I developed more like interest into like heavier music. With Rammstein, Machine Head, and what was it? Yeah, I think this type of stuff. And then finally got to the scene with Trivium and all the other scene bands of that time.
Nice.
Nice. I think it happened a lot. Like it was always kind of a happy place for me to make music and to be away from all the other stuff.
Yeah. Because I spend a lot of time talking to Rising Empire bands. Like I'm just like there seems to be like a lot of stuff in Germany popping off all the time. But is that your experience? I mean, when I talk to those bands, everybody's talking about the big American bands. So like how much of your music experience is like the national, like global bands versus like what's happening locally and in your country?
Yeah, for me, it seems like, especially in the last like 5-6 years or so, there were a lot of cool German scene bands which developed into like bigger bands now, and the scene here seems quite alive and well. And of course, there are a lot of influences from the US scene. It's still the main the place to be if you want to like play live and show you people that music. But I think it's developing here quite well, and also like from around like France and Denmark and the countries around Germany, there's so many cool bands I got to appreciate now, and many of them I got to know now personally, and it's super cool like to be connected in this European metalcore scene.
Nice. What's your transition from piano into vocals?
Yeah, there was quite some time in between of that. Like I started with piano, then played bass in my first band, and didn't do any vocals, like maybe some backing vocals at some live shows, but I never was into singing. And I really figured out that to sing also means like to be the face of a band, and also be like in this creative position to like influence, I think, the whole image and the whole sound of the band the most, because like nowadays I think for many people like the singing part is maybe the most important, especially in the mainstream music. So that I figured that out, and I tried it, and I got some lessons that was super important for me, and I really just started to sing like maybe 1 year before we put out our first song. I think maybe in 2022 or 2021 or sometime about around that. And I never thought like I wasn't happy with my voice. I couldn't sing like more than 2 songs without getting some severe pain in my throat. And having a vocal coach and doing lessons really helped.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's always that jarring thing the first time you enter a recording studio and you put those headphones on and you sing and you're like, I don't sound like that.
Yeah, that can be so weird.
Yeah.
It takes some time to get used to it.
Yeah, and all your friends are like, that's exactly what you sound like.
Yeah.
So weird how you hear yourself.
Yeah, even like listening to your own voice memos and stuff like that, like it still is sometimes pretty weird.
Yeah. I because I edit this podcast, like I've been doing this for so long. Yeah. I've like been listening to myself talk for like 10 years, and it's just like I'm used to it now, but like sometimes I'm still like, God, I need to change my voice.
I know what you mean. Like for me, especially the talking voice, I never like I hear the songs like very often because like I have to review them and stuff. But like hearing myself talk is still feels kind of weird.
Yeah. Let's talk about Lost in Hollywood. How'd this band get started? And I'm very curious about the inspiration behind the band name.
Yeah, sure. Like it started out like in 2022 when the guitarist and me, like we were in another band project for quite some time, like until 2017 or something. But then we didn't have any projects in between or nothing to do with each other except like just being friends. And we thought, okay, let's try it one more time, but this time like make it as professional as we can. Like let's call up some people. Let's try to get to know the right people and put our music out. And we started writing some songs which were based on older demos and stuff. And we didn't have a name until like maybe 1 month before we went public. And for me, like the band System of a Down is a huge inspiration. I heard a lot of that music when I was younger, and there was this song like Lost in Hollywood, which like describes the whole world of being like misled by people who tell you, okay, I can make you big, I can make you famous and stuff like that. And I think that was like for us when we had our first music projects, like a theme that always like was behind that, because like we didn't know better and always believed those people and nothing happened. So yeah, that was like the starting point. But I think I don't know how it is right now, but our guitarist Timo was still quite hesitant to use this name. I don't know if he likes it now, but we didn't have any better name, so now we're called Lost in Hollywood.
Yeah. It's sometimes bands, like older bands, they have the same story where they're like, I actually hate this band name, but it stuck, and you're doing it for 20 years, and it's just like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, you're right. Now we're used to it, and like we of course roll with it, and I think it's quite memorable. It's not that abstract. You can memorize it pretty well. So I think maybe that's a pro. But of course, sometimes it's hard to find us because of the song name of Sizzle Down. Yeah, we have to deal with that now.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of things were you trying to hit musically? I mean, there's like a general metalcore vibe, but I mean, you guys use a lot of auto-tune, a lot of electronics in your music. It relies heavily on singing. So what type of things were inspiring you, or were you hoping to accomplish musically?
Yeah, like especially with this album that we put out in March, we wanted to have a strong contrast in our songs between like heavy parts and not hold back on those parts, but also have this like dark R&B, dark pop influence in our music, because we really like artists like Darcy, and also of course heavier artists. There is no like limit for us regarding heavy music. Like we are into super heavy music as well. So we wanted to like combine that and like develop our sound to that direction. And, like don't hold ourselves back. If we want to try something super heavy, we do it, and if we want to try something super poppy, we do it. There was no like I hope this isn't heavy. I hope this isn't too heavy or something like that. We just didn't hold back and express ourselves in the most authentic way we could think of.
Yeah. It definitely seems to be the way a lot of new bands are going, to add those dark pop elements and like not being afraid to embrace pop music or electronic music, and just like, these are all our influences. Like, why shouldn't it be a thing?
Yeah, right. Like I think there was a time, maybe I don't know, 10 years ago, where it was like a trend in the scene to like get super soft and like transition only into rock songs without any breakdowns and stuff. But I'm super happy that isn't the case right now. Like everyone wants to be heavier and heavier, and I really enjoy that. And it's the same with us. Like, of course, we finished now the second album and it's coming out soon, but we're of course still writing and having ideas how it could go from here. And there's no limit regarding the heaviness.
What led you guys to A Rising Empire?
That was like a super cool coincidence. We met like the A&Rs of Rising Empire at a music festival here in Hamburg, which was more like an industry event where all the labels come together and have their showcases and stuff, but it's called Reeperbahn Festival. And there we met them, but we didn't ask them about the label. We asked them if we could like tour with their band, because they had a band as well, or they still have that band. It's called Venues. Yeah. And asked them if we could tour with those guys, but that didn't happen. But they like asked us if we can send them our music and our unreleased first album and stuff. And after that, after the release, which went quite well for us, like we released it independently, they hit us up, and after some talks and discussions about how we could do this, we signed, like I think in March last year, or not sure, last year.
Yeah, nice. This album's self-titled. What was the decision behind that? Is it kind of like a reintroduction of the band on this new label?
Yes, it's maybe because we thought about how do we want to sound, and how can we reflect that on the album. And I think it's this for us, it's a statement, like, this is Lost in Hollywood, this is how we sound. We have like those heavy elements, we have those soft elements, but still want to tell authentic stories in the lyrics. And it felt like quite natural, because there isn't a overarching theme, or this isn't a concept album by any means. Like we just wanted to write about everything that was on our hearts. Mainly the vocals or the lyrics come from my side, but be like just ourselves. And so we thought it was fitting to call the album that way.
Nice. Is that kind of your approach to lyrics, like just like personal, or whether stuff you're seeing in the world, as opposed to, I don't know, trying to craft stories?
Yes. I think it's it's for me, it's personally, it's quite important to be authentic and to let out all the emotions I had, because I didn't do that for so long, and only started doing it when I started therapy some years ago. So that helped a lot, and I saw that first of all, letting out those thoughts and those emotions helps me personally, but it's also more interesting for the listener to get some personal stories, because someone said once, at that point where for the singer it's getting uncomfortable to talk about, it's getting the most interesting for the one who listens. So just try to be myself and let it out.
Nice. You got a couple of features on this record, some label mates of yours, Virtue, Half Me, Philip Strand. Was that all written with the intent of people coming in to collaborate on those songs, or how'd that work out?
In some cases, yes. I think the best example is the song we did with Half Me. We know the guys personally; they also from the area here, and we sit together in the studio, and we wrote that song. Basically, it's a collaboration. It's not only a feature. We wrote the lyrics together and stuff like that. And the song with of Virtue was, we had the song done already, and we thought about, it would be such a great opportunity for us to have someone else feature this song, because it's mainly the most mainstream kind of metalcore song on the album. And our friend Chris, who is in the band Half Me, he knew Tyler of Virtue, so he just told us, "Hey man, he would fit so great in that song. Should I hit him up?" And so that came together. Nice. And with Philip Strand on Love Is Dying, I think I knew that I wanted to have him on the track, because I love Normandy. It's such a cool band, and I always loved his vocal style. And when I wrote that song, it came to my mind that it would be super cool to have him on that song. And fortunately, I knew someone who knows him, and then the connection was made.
Nice. Album's out March 20th. You guys have a tour in April with Archers through Europe. Is that just kind of the only thing on the book so far, to kind of get that tour underway, introduce yourself to Europe as a support tour, and see what happens?
Yes, that's the only official thing planned. But of course, we have some other plans as well regarding our own headline tour and some other support slots. But for now, it's the main thing. It's the first opportunity for us to play all the songs, or as many as we can, from the new album, and promote that, and come around and get to know new people. Maybe have some people stick around and come to our shows later that year. So that's the main focus right now.
Yeah. Do you look at some of your label mates? You see Landmarks coming over stateside. I mean, Future Palace just signed with Century Media. They're just came to America for the first time. Do you look around and think okay, if we just slowly build this, that could be us one day? Or is it just taking one step at a time and got to build your fan base somewhere? Yeah,
we are dreaming about that, of course. And we talk a lot about it, because our management also has good connections to the US, and we are in the same management as Half Me, and they toured the US I think 4 times already.
Yeah, I saw them on that feature.
That was the last time, I guess. Yeah, that's right. And we wanted to do the same, of course. We talk a lot about that with our management, and I think next year is still a bit early. Let's see how we develop, but maybe in 2028, who knows? Looking forward to that. Of course, that is such a huge goal for us.
Yeah. Is it cool to see kind of a reaction to your music already on streaming? I know Metal Burb did a reaction video to one of the singles. Is it cool to see okay, people are noticing us already?
It's super, super cool. We're so blessed, because also getting reactions from around the world and the US is always, it's a huge compliment, because it's not our we're not native speakers, and of course our origins of the scene always came from the US. So it's, to get like kind of accepted or like listened to in the US is such a huge compliment for us. And those reactions help us so much. Like so many people get to know our music, and I think the reactors also do a really important job for the scene.
Doesn't mean that I still feel I'm feeling this out of nothing. Don't mind it taking the best of